Hi YouTubers! I will now show you how to adjust the Garmin bow sight to your bow. This process consists of 3 steps. First, mechanically zeroing in the primary pin at 15 meters. Secondly, aligning the rangefinder, which you can see on the front of the sight with your primary pin. And third, shooting at various distances to learn the bow sight, the ballistic of your bow and arrow. Here you see the sight mounted on the bow. It has just been mounted, has not yet been turned on, and is therefore at factory setting. Let's start by turning on the sight. When you turn on the sight for the first time, it will automatically start a guide, which will help you through the setup process. First you'll be prompted to select language. I select English, but you can of course select any language you prefer. Next, I have to select units of distance measurement. Available options are yards and meters. I select meters. Then I'm asked if I want to start pin calibration, and that's exactly what I want, so I select yes. As this is the Xero A1i, the more expensive model, I get the option to select ranged pin color. I prefer the ranged pin to be green, so that's what I'll select. Now I get the option to select pin brightness. Let's take a look at how that works. Let me increase the brightness and then click OK. Next, I can adjust the reticle brightness. The reticle refers to the green circle and arrows you see around the red dot used when measuring distance to the target. Let me increase the reticle brightness a little also. Now I'm instructed to stand at the range where I want to zero in the first, also referred to as the primary pin. It has to be at least 15 meters from the target, which is what I recommend. Let's press OK, go to the 15 meter mark and shoot an arrow. I'm now standing 15 meters away from the target. Now I press and hold the trigger. The sight will now use the laser rangefinder to measure the distance to the target. The 15 meters are now confirmed. Now I release the trigger and I'm asked if I want to use the 15 meter range. I confirm by clicking the OK button. Now I zero in the first pin at 15 meters. This is done by sliding the sight on the straight rails. Use this vertical and this horizontal rail to adjust the sight. Please note that there are both straight and curved rails in the sight. Make sure you only use the straight rails to zero in the primary pin. For this you need a 7/64 inch hex key. In order to keep the weight down, the rails are made of aluminum, not steel. Therefore, the maximum torque is only 2.2 Newton meters, which is not very much. If you don't have a torque wrench available, you can turn the screw until it makes contact and then turn it 1/4 turn. You might damage the sight if you exceed the maximum torque, so make sure to be really careful when you tighten the screws. When you need to figure out which way to slide the sight, you can think of it this way. Move the sight to where your arrows hit. So for example, if your arrows hit to the left of where you aim, you need to move the sight to the left and so on. Now I have mechanically zeroed in the first pin at 15 meters, using the straight rails only. During this process, the display has shown this message: set pin using vertical and horizontal rails. I now click OK to confirm that I have finished setting up the first pin. Next step is to adjust the reticle for the laser rangefinder. This is done by knocking an arrow, draw the bow and look through the peep sight. The reticle must be adjusted so the red dot exactly fits in the green circle. This example shows a reticle where the red dot needs to be adjusted up to the right. This adjustment ensures that the laser rangefinder measures the distance to where you aim the red dot. Use the horizontal and vertical curved rails to adjust the laser rangefinder reticle. The curved rails are constructed so that adjustments on these only affects the laser rangefinder reticle. It does not change where the arrow hit. So make sure you don't use straight rails while adjusting the laser rangefinder reticle. Now I have adjusted the reticle so the red dot fits in the green circle when I draw the bow and look through the peep sight as I normally would when shooting. Then I confirm the adjustment of the reticle by clicking OK. Just to make sure I did not change where the arrow hits, I'm now asked to shoot an arrow 15 meters from the target and confirm that the primary pin is still accurate. I now shot a couple of arrows to check that my primary pin is still accurate at 15 meters. Since I did not touch the straight rails, it's still accurate, and I confirm that it's still accurate by clicking OK. I'm now instructed to back up 10 meters, which means going back to 25 meters from the target. The display now instructs me to hold the trigger to measure the distance to the target. The distance is measured and I release the trigger. Now I'm prompted to confirm that I'll use 25 meters as the next distance. I confirm by clicking OK and I'm now ready to shoot at 25 meters. I now shot 3 arrows on target at 25 meters. The display now asks me if the arrows hit bullseye. Let's go to the target and see. This is the group of arrows shot from 25 meters. As you can see, the group is 5 centimeters too high. So now we need to go back to the bow and enter a correction to get accurate shots at 25 meters. Now I'm back with the bow and I have to answer if the arrows hit bullseye. They did not, as shots were 5 centimeters too high, so I select no and click OK. Next question is if I missed too high or too low. I select high and click OK again. Now I have to enter how much too high, and I select 5 centimeters and click OK. Now the sight adjusts the range pin and I have to shoot again at 25 meters to see if the arrows are accurate now. I now shot 3 arrows and they were accurate. So I confirm they hit bullseye by selecting yes and clicking OK. Next step is to back up another 10 meters and repeat the same process I did at 25 meters. I have now repeated the electronic calibration at 25, 35, 45 and 55 meters. 55 meters is the maximum distance I want to shoot, so when asked if I want to calibrate more distances, I select no and click OK. I'm now asked if I want to set fixed pins. If fixed pins are set, I can always fall back to a traditional fixed pin sight. The next step allows me to define the distances for which I want fixed pins. I select yes and click OK to begin setting fixed pins. I select the first pin at 15 meters. I want this pin to be green. The A1i model allows me to set the pin color for the fixed pins. I want to set another pin, and this time I want to set it at 25 meters. So I scroll down, select 25, and this time I want a red pin. Now I want another pin at 35 meters, and this time I want it green. I configure another pin at 45 meters, and I want it red. Last pin I set at 55 meters and I select this one to be green. Now I don't want any more fixed pins. The setup of the Garmin Xero is now complete and I'm ready to shoot. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, I would appreciate if you hit like or subscribe below. You're welcome to ask questions, add comments or suggest other videos in the comments. Thanks.